What's going on today, YouTube? It's your boy Big C-DOGG. It's definitely been a while since I've made any videos. I apologize for that. Uh, been getting back into the swing of working and everything. I've been working now for about 6 months here at the job I have now, and it's been taking a toll on me. Graveyard shift. What more needs to be said, right? Um, Plus, I really haven't had too much that I had been wanting to talk about. A couple of topics I have been wanting to touch on. Um, I find myself recording the videos and then not posting them um, because of the voice in the back of my head. I'm not going to go into too much detail on that. Just wanted to let you guys know I am still here. I'm still going to be pumping out videos. Probably not as often as I originally planned, but I'll still be pumping them out regardless. I am going to change the direction of 90% of my videos. Instead of focusing more on just my opinion on shit going on in the world, which we all have an opinion on, and focusing on like conspiracy theories and stuff like that, I'm going to start focusing more on trading card games. In particular, one you guys know that I'm very much in love with, that would be the Yu-Gi-Oh trading card game. Um, this video is basically going to be me explaining when I started playing the game, and when I stopped, why I stopped, and me recently getting back into it. Now, I know the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game has been around since like the late 1990s. Um, I don't really know if that counts for here in the States. If I'm wrong and it does count for here in the States, please comment below. I didn't start really getting into the whole trading card game, the whole Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game, until around the time that the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie released here in the States. That would be, if I remember correctly, Yu-Gi-Oh! The Pyramid of Light. That was around the time that I had started getting into it. Which I believe was 2003. I do remember I was 13 years old around the time that movie came out. So, first getting into the game was very hard for me. My grandmother did not like the game, did not even really let me try to get any of the cards, let alone watch the TV series, because she thought it was devil worship. She was a heavily religious person. I think I've explained that to you guys in a couple of videos. It took me going behind her back in order to start getting into the game. I had a friend who collected like Dragon Ball Z cards, Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I remember having a few Dragon Ball Z cards. Even though I am a fan of Dragon Ball Z, like I love the anime, I love the movies. If I ever get the chance, I want to start collecting some of the figures and shit. I wasn't too much of a fan of the card game though, so I would trade him Dragon Ball Z cards to get a couple of cards. And the very first card I ever got off of him was a monster card called La Jinn, the Mystical Genie of the Lamp. I'm sure we're all familiar with La Jinn. OG. One of the OGs. The second card I got off him was a trap card called Ultimate Offering. Now keep in mind, I'm 27 years old. This was 14 years ago, and I still remember this shit. Okay? My memory is not the best out there. Believe me. So, I kept them hidden and everything. Well, one day Grandma found them, and she tried to go off the handle, this, that, and the other thing, but then it was the whole thing, she tried hiding me from it. I went behind her back, and that's essentially how I got her on board with letting me, collect the cards, play the game, watch the anime, all that good shit. So, the only person I had to duel other than my friend was my brother. And over the years, with just me and my brother dueling, we became very quick rivals. We always tried to one up the other. Not always the um, best of endings for either one of us. One of us would have a better deck built than the other. Sorry, I'm getting a little tongue tied here. One would have a better deck built than the other. One would have a better strategy than the other. This, that, and the other thing. My brother ended up putting his deck down. Like, we never played on a competitive level. We were just kids, didn't really have the money, didn't have the time, um, due to like our mother working or stuff like that. So we just did it for fun. Well, he ended up putting his deck down at some point because he decided that Yu-Gi-Oh was too childish. It's a trading card game. To say Yu-Gi-Oh is childish would be like to say collecting baseball cards or basketball cards is childish. Everyone does it. Everyone does it. We all collect something. We all have our habits and hobbies, so it's whatever. So I ended up having to put my deck down. The last duel I had with my brother, I think I was 18 years old, and that was just because it was my birthday, and I really wasn't ready to retire prior to him putting the deck down, so it was kind of like, going out the bang type deal. Yes, I lost, but I digress. So, I'd managed to duel him one or two times after that. I don't remember exactly when. I know one time there was a power outage at home. We couldn't play our game consoles, so yeah, we decided, hey, let's pick up our decks and entertain ourselves. Other than that, really haven't dueled. Like, I've been keeping up somewhat with the game over the years. I was playing on, I think it's Dueling Network, when that was around. I don't know if it still is or not. Last time I tried to get on it, it told me no, access denied, or some shit like that. Like, the site was taken down. Again, if I'm wrong, comment below. So, here just last year, back in 2016, I was working for Radio Shack, as most of you, I think I told you guys, as most of you should know. And I managed to get back together with an old friend of mine and co-worker from Walmart. His name is Derek Partizzotti. And we were just talking one day, and I think I actually brought up the subject, and that's when we discovered that, hey, we have a common hobby. Maybe we should pick up our decks again, start dueling it, at least for fun. Well, at some point, for fun turned into, hey, let's do this competitively. So, we've been dueling. We've picked up our decks again. We've been dueling. The first tournament that we went to was a local tournament at Top Deck Card and Games in Bethel Park, PA, which is relatively close to where we both live. Sorry. He lives up in 84. I live in Washington, PA. So, we went up there. I think it was like New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. No, it was New Year's Day. No, New Year's Eve. I'm sorry. Because New Year's Eve day. There we go. Because I remember spending New Year's Eve with my girlfriend and New Year's Day with my girlfriend. So it was New Year's Eve day. So, we went up. I took a Red Eyes deck. I really don't remember what deck he took. To tell you the truth. Excuse me. I think he was using like Blue Eyes or something like that, but I'm not really 100% sure. Excuse me. Like, we went up to the tournament expecting to get our asses kicked. But at the same time, we went to the tournament thinking, okay, maybe It's locals. It's a local tournament. Maybe we stood a chance. No. He lost his ass, and if I remember correctly, he lost his ass to a pendulum duelist. I don't remember what cards he said the kid was using. I think it was like Dark Lords or something like that. Don't quote me on that. I, on the other hand, lost my ass to an Xyz duelist or XYZ duelist, however you people want to say it. I call it Xyz because, that's how they call it. That's what they call it in Zexal. To me, it's just easier to say Xyz other than XYZ. Um, so, kind of thinking that it was, round elimination, we went to the actual card shop portion of it and just kind of looking around getting some cards. Of course, then we found out it was Swiss rounds. Like, there's no elimination. It was the first time I'd ever been to a tournament of any level, and it was the first one he had been to in years. So, sue us. So after that, we kind of just kicked back. We dueled each other. Started doing a lot of research. Um, Now, to say I did more research than him, or he did more than me, I really couldn't tell you because it seems like we both have done a significant amount of research into certain cards and decks and strategies and things of that nature. So, fast forward to a few weeks ago, actually nearly a month ago, we went to our first regional tournament in Bethel Park. We went up there expecting to have our asses handed to us, but at the same time, we expected to go up there and, get a few wins under our belt. He got more than me, obviously. Um, he was running a Blue Eyes deck, which I later, after like the first round or two, I later looked at his deck because I was curious of what all he was running. It's my friend. I don't necessarily count that as, kind of cheating because I'm trying to help my friend understand why he lost in the first round. Or even in the first couple of rounds. So, I'm looking through his deck and I'm seeing what I would consider a very congested deck. Now, other duelists would not consider it congested. I considered it very congested because, especially under the circumstance where he was running two Chaos Max Dragons, along with two copies of Advanced Ritual Art and two copies of Chaos Form. There were quite a few duelists there that did disagree with that lineup in it, and they told him how he could make the deck better. But I mean, we were already at the tournament. There's no, like, we had already been a couple rounds in. Like, there's no editing after that. The deck I was running was what I would consider its power to be at maybe 50% at the time because I didn't have all the cards I needed. Um, was a Galaxy Eyes deck. Now, I already know some of you guys are going to be laughing. I can see it in the comments. Pathetic deck, this, that, and the other thing. Look, say what you want about Galaxy Eyes. Me, when it comes down to the game, yes, I venture out into other aspects of the game. Like, I'm working on a Dino deck. I'm working on an Odd Eyes deck. Kind of out of date, but whatever. I'm working on a multi-breed deck that I'm keeping under wraps right now. Other than maybe a couple of people in my little tight-knit circle. But hopefully I'm able to get it to the point where even the more popular decks in the meta are going to be destroyed by this deck. I do know Link Summoning is right around the corner. Some of the cards that I've been looking into for that don't release until like 6 months from now. So there are definitely cards that I am looking to put in this deck later down the road. But back to the tournament. Um, so my friend, we stayed for 6 rounds out of 8. My friend ended up going, I think it was something like 2-4 with his deck. I went 1-5, and that was only because my last opponent was leaving after that round. So since then, I've been working on the deck. I know I've put over $200 into my Galaxy Eyes deck. I do not run, and I can't stress this one enough. To me, there are 2 ways to build a deck. You can do your, what I would consider traditional format for the deck by following like a preset deck recipe for it, which doesn't always pan out the way you want it to. Or you can take that deck recipe and make it your own. Do what you want to the deck. Find a recipe for that deck that will literally like just kick ass. And that's what I've done. Most duelists who run a Galaxy Eyes deck follow the traditional recipe for the deck and incorporate one of 2 or 3 or maybe 4 deck recipe ideas for it. There's people out there that run the Galaxy Eyes format recipe. I don't like that format at all. I've tried it. To me, it sucks. There are those who run the Galaxy Eyes Cipher engine. It's not a bad engine. It's not the best, but it's not a bad engine. Definitely one I have tried. Definitely one that I'm not 100% with. Not by itself. There are duelists out there who have incorporated Galaxy Eyes, or not Galaxy Eyes, I'm sorry, Cyber Dragon Infinity into the deck. I can get behind that because of Infinity's effect. And I've tried that deck by itself to the exact recipe. And I was still finding myself in a bit of a very curious position against certain decks, one of which being one of the most popular decks in the meta right now, and that's fucking Zodiac. Yes, I hate Zodiac. So, I kept researching them and everything, and then I came up with a deck that works best for me. I haven't really seen too much for this deck profile, and I'm sure that there are people out there with a deck profile similar to mine. My Galaxy Eyes deck is a Galaxy Eyes Cipher Cyber Dragon hybrid deck. It incorporates not only the Galaxy Eyes engine, but the Cipher engine, and then Galaxy Eyes Infinity. And I've had a lot of success with that deck. I have not had the chance to test it out on a very competitive level, but just using like yugioh Pro and dueling my friend who is running a Dino deck, current meta standing Dino deck, the deck has been very successful. In a later video, I will profile that deck. I can't tell you the exact like monster spell trap ratio that I'm running in the deck because honestly I don't know. I'd have to bring it up on yugioh Pro, and right now I really don't want to do that. I can tell you it runs a 53 card main deck and I believe a 13 card extra deck. And again, kind of getting away from the typical Galaxy Eyes builds where they have certain Galaxy Eye monsters in the extra deck, minus Galaxy Eye Cypher Blade Dragon. I can't wait to get my hands on this card. It's going to be a Shonen Jump promo, as all of my Yu-Gi-Oh people should know. I will be subscribing for that. My extra deck, as of right now, has every Galaxy Eyes monster in it that's available in the TCG. I'm talking Neo Galaxy Eyes, number 107 Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon, Neo Tachyon Dragon, Cypher Dragon, Neo Cypher Dragon. I have Full Armor Galaxy Eyes. I have Dark Matter Dragon in that deck. I think I'm actually missing one on that list, because I think there's 8 Galaxy Eyes. Oh, Galaxy Eyes Prime. Number 62, Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. That's the name that was escaping me. Aside from that, I have Cyber Dragon Nova and Infinity, obviously, because I want to get Infinity out on the board ASAP. The other 3 monsters I run in this deck is number 23, Lancelot. Number 38, I believe, Hope Harbinger. And Divine Dragon Knight Felgrand. He is the only Felgrand monster in the deck. I apologize for the length of the video. I wanted to keep it short and sweet, but it looks like it's going to go a little over. So that's the extra deck portion. And again, I'll be profiling this deck in a later video. There are some cards in it that duelists might not put in a Galaxy Eyes deck, because typically Galaxy Eyes would be able to benefit from these. I'll do a spoiler alert right now. One of the cards that I run in the deck, I run 3 copies of Quaking Mirror Force. Again, I can already see it in some of the comments that I'll get on this video. You know why Quaking Mirror Force, a Galaxy Eyes deck, can't benefit from it. I disagree. Because you need to take a closer look at the effect of Dark Matter Dragon. Say my opponent has a board filled. Galaxy Eyes isn't exactly the fastest of decks. So say the opponent has their side of the field filled, okay? They go to attack, you play Quaking, that shuts all their monsters, all their attacking monsters down, giving you enough time to pull out monsters that you need. So say you're able to fill up your field. The typical layout for that I would run would be Dark Matter Dragon. We'll say, let's see, Cyber Dragon Infinity, Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. So there's 3 right there. Just to throw a couple of other monsters in there. Let's say Galaxy Knight and Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Just say we have a full field. Or if you want to put down 2 other Xyz monsters, we'll say number 107 Tachyon Dragon and Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon. We'll say that because of Prime's effect. Now, again, these monsters don't benefit. Like, you can't take off your opponent's life points by attacking the monsters. None of them really do piercing damage. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because of Dark Matter Dragon's effect. Get rid of an overlay unit or Xyz material, whichever you would prefer. I prefer overlay unit. Get rid of an overlay unit. Cypher Dragon can attack twice. Can attack 2 monsters that turn. Your opponent has 5 on the field, so you've already wiped out 2 of your opponent's monsters. Cyber Dragon Infinity attacks, Tachyon attacks, and Cypher Dragon attacks. You've wiped your opponent's board, making way for Prime Photon Dragon. You go to attack with him, pop his effect. Use an overlay unit. He gains an attack. He gains attack points equal to the rank of every Xyz monster on the field times 200. That includes himself. You already have, what is it, 4 rank 8 monsters between. I'm sorry, no. If I remember correctly, Dark Matter Dragon's a rank 9. I might be wrong. I think he's a rank 9. So we'll say 3 rank 8s between Tachyon, Cypher, and Prime. You know, right there's what? That's what, a rank level of 24 times 200. That's what, 4,800 points right there. He already has an attack of 4 grand. Then you add on, what, another 1,800 from Dark Matter Dragon, and then Cyber Dragon's rank, which I believe is like a 6. So right there's another 1,200. You attack and wipe out your opponent. Even if you just want to do somewhat of an OTK, say in your first turn, your opponent does their thing. Doesn't really have a back row. No one really plays a back row anymore. Your opponent has a single monster on the field, which in the game today is very rarely seen. You start your combo, and you have everything in your hand to put 2 monsters that can OTK your opponent right then and there. You need the setup for Cyber Dragon Infinity and Photon Prime, which I have easily pulled out of this deck in the first turn. Those are the only ones you need. You summon Infinity, you summon Prime. Go through the whole combo line. Use the first part of Infinity's effect. Say your opponent's monster is in attack mode. Use the first part of Infinity's effect, snatch that monster. He gains 200 attack points for every monster that for every overlay unit that he has. Then you go to attack. First off, at this point, even if you use Cyber Dragon Infinity's effect to stop the activation of a card that your opponent is going to use to try to stop your attack, he's still going to have a beast-ass attack. Even at base level, with this combo that you have set up, he would still have a beast-ass attack. So let's see, he gains 200 attack points for every overlay unit. So let's see, 4 overlay units times 200 is 800. His original attack is already 2100. That's 2900 ATK. You attack with him. Then you go to attack with Prime Photon Dragon. Activate its effect. Again, he gains 200 attack points times the level of every Xyz monster on the field. His level's 8, there's 16. Cyber Dragon's is 6, there's 12. That's what? An additional 2,800 points, giving him an attack of 6,800. OTK right then and there. Send your opponent off crying. The deck is still very powerful, depending on how you play it and how you build it. I can kick off my combos within my first turn if the deck will allow me. Even if I can't start kicking off my combos, the deck has shown that once it gets past that 5th round, because it has been told to me that if in the current meta, if you can get past 5 rounds in the duel, your opponent's chance of winning, while it doesn't rise significantly, it rises. And that is when this deck typically tends to shine if it's getting off to a slow start. Again, the one card I need, even if I just get one copy of it out, the one card I need just to help me with that is Quaking Mirror Force, because it buys me time. Once I am able to start popping off my combos, it is very hard to stop that deck. Especially since I don't do your typical combos. My friend Derek and I were dueling yesterday, and I went to pop off my combo to start getting Cyber Dragon out. So of course there's Galaxy Soldier in this deck. I summon the first one. I go to search my deck to pull out Galaxy Knight. Because with the first, I had two Galaxy Soldier, one Galaxy Soldier already in my hand. Along with Galaxy Ice Photon Dragon, which is the way you want to start off most combos. My friend stopped that with, I forget the exact name of the card. But, I'm sure since he's a subscriber, I'm sure he's going to put the name of the card in the comments section below. So, he stopped it. And I kind of lectured him on that on our way home that day, because I also had a copy of Galaxy Expedition. For those of you who don't know what Galaxy Expedition does, if I have a level 5 or higher Galaxy monster on the field, I can then special summon from my deck one level 5 or higher Galaxy monster. He had already stopped the activation of the search effect for the first Galaxy Soldier, and it states I can only use that effect once per turn. So I summon out of my deck another Galaxy Soldier, use its effect, and get my Galaxy Knight. Summon Galaxy Knight before I even summon my Cyber Dragon, because of Galaxy Knight's effect. Bring out the Galaxy Ice Photon Dragon from my graveyard. Overlay Cyber Dragon Nova. Overlay Nova into Infinity. Overlay my Knight and my Dragon into Prime Photon Dragon. Actually, no, I think at that point in the game I had overlaid him into Lancelot, just to try to cover my ass a little bit. But you see where I'm going with this. Even if I had overlaid it into Prime Photon Dragon, which he was expecting, you know, right there's the end of the combo, and in most cases the end of the duel. So that's all for this video. Again, I apologize for the length of this video. I did not expect to go this long just talking about it. Hit that like and subscribe button. As always, let me know what you think of the video. Until next time, YouTube, this is your homie Big C-DOGG signing out. Peace.